Welcome to everyone. And I would like to pass it off at this point to, we're going to have two speakers to talk to us about UTEP and to welcome everyone. And the first will be Dean Kenith Meissner, the Dean of the College of Engineering and Riter Professor of Engineering, and then Dr. Ahsan Choudhuri, who is the Associate Vice President of the UTEP Aerospace Center and is also one of our executive committee members on LSIC. So please welcome them. And oh, yes, thank you. Josh is waving to me. We're going to be doing questions through Slido. So if you're here in the room, there's a scan on the programs for the Slido link. This way, the folks that are online can also participate and share their questions with folks throughout the day. So with that, I'd like to welcome Dean Meissner. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bienvenidos, Croeso, and welcome. We're so glad you could make it today to our little corner here in Texas at University of Texas at El Paso. I'm a bit of a new dean. I've been in the job for about 13 weeks, so still getting used to the distances here in West Texas. For those of you joining us here, I really appreciate you taking the time to come visit. For those of you online, I try to look at the camera back there. You're welcome to come visit anytime, and we really look forward to having you visit us in the future. When I understand today's program is pretty packed, so you're not going to have a chance to see quite everything. So we'll be more than happy to welcome you back. At UTEP, we're proud supporters of NASA's mission to keep the United States at the forefront of lunar exploration. And you know, hosting the Lunar Surface Innovation Consortium's fall meeting is really an honor for us and an opportunity of to show how we are committed and many ways in which we are committed to that mission. During your visit to campus and our beautiful community, we hope you'll catch a small glimpse of the many ways we support NASA's mission. Our research, our talent, our community supply chain all support NASA's mission. And we partner with NASA, industry, and academia to align these assets in order to capture emerging opportunities and really address any of the emerging challenges. As our nation struggles with an urgent STEM talent crisis, UTEP is at the forefront of building inclusive talent pipelines into the aerospace sector, from a population of students who are vastly underrepresented in the workforce, and I would argue are vastly underestimated in our classrooms. During your visit to UTEP, you'll have some short tours of the Aerospace Center and of the WM Keck Center for 3D Innovation, where you'll see state-of-the-art facilities. Your tours are going to be led by students. Almost half of them are undergraduates, and they work as paid research assistants at the centers. The students you will meet are 82% Latino, 40% female, and almost half of them are the first in their family to attend college. 2/3 of our undergraduates receive need-based financial aid, with the average package being $8,888. That means that our students are paying approximately $685 in tuition and fees. Now, that's not covering all the costs of college. We all know their books and room and board and such. But in my opinion, that's an excellent deal. And it's something that opens doors for our students, and it's not an accident. As the nation's only Research One university with an open enrollment policy, UTEP is committed to providing inclusive access to an excellent education, and it's unparalleled in helping to engage and unlock the creativity of the missing millions in the United States. So at UTEP, we have a rare capability to address a critical demand if we are to fully realize the potential of our people and maintain the US's world-leading position in research and development. Now, the Aerospace Center and the Keck Center have a proven 2-decade track record of taking these students who are underrepresented in the STEM workforce and underestimated in our classrooms and placing them into highly paid positions in aerospace, defense, and advanced manufacturing. This is transformative to the lives of these students, who, as I said, are often the first in their families to attend college, and transformative for their families. The secret to the success is that our research programs exist as a vehicle for social and economic mobility of these students who we employ as paid research assistants. Our students have to work. And so we want them to work in a way that moves them forward in their careers. We hire them to work in our labs as undergraduates to expand experiential learning while working on real-world problems. Student classroom learning and practice is integrated with industry-aligned skills development in our research labs in an iterative design, build, and test cycle within multidisciplinary teams. This skills development is what sets our students apart from their peers at other institutions. Our graduates are ready to contribute to NASA's mission as soon as they graduate. They have practical knowledge, the skills, and the experience that are in urgent demand in the space workforce. We look forward to continuing to work for a brighter future for our nation, for NASA, and for our students. And with that, I invite you to enjoy the conference and your visit to UTEP. If there is something that we're missing, please let us know what roles UTEP can play as we work collectively to keep the United States the forefront of lunar exploration. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Welcome to this beautiful city and our beautiful weather. I hope you guys are enjoying this, right? So El Paso is a very special place, and the University of Texas is a very special place. Over the last decade, we're asking a very simple question. The question is that we want a fair share of American prosperity. And before I start amplifying what Dean Meissner just says, I have to thank some of my partners who help us some aspect. So Blue Origin is a very long and trusted partner of UTEP Aerospace Center, who paid for the registration for all our students who will be attending together. So thank you, Blue Origin. If I can able to forward my slide. Okay, maybe you have to change it now. Also, our partner, El Paso, City of El Paso, and the County of El Paso, who is our community sponsors, also sponsoring the dinner tonight in our FInstP facility. I hope all of you will join us in FInstP facility today. Really, very, very nice place. We're gonna have a really great dinner. So please join us for tonight. Tonight dinner is sponsored by City of El Paso and also the County of El Paso. And outside you'll see a booth from City of El Paso. We're building the first purpose-built advanced manufacturing campus in the nation. So please stop by to know more about that program. So Aerospace Center, so welcome. So in our nation now, we are pursuing a very ambitious agenda of both civil and commercial space. We want to have a permanent presence on Moon. We're building private space station. We want to have a lot of commercial activity lower Earth orbit. It's just amazing time. I think we never had a time like that. I didn't born during the Apollo era, but I can imagine what excitement was that. Our nation is getting that excitement back. And Lunar Surface Innovation Consortium is one of the product of that. But if you look at very, very carefully, that we have a growing issue that our inability to really source talents. And if you're in aerospace and defense industry, you know how difficult to really source talents. Part of the reason is we created structural barriers for America's hidden talent pool to participate in aerospace defense industries. We created exclusive program where you have so many barriers to pursue education in that area. And we failed to create opportunity in many Americans' community. We built our prosperity to few American cities, and we thought that's gonna be okay. And as Dean pointed out, El Paso, post-NAFTA, we lost 33,000 jobs from our community because America wants to buy cheap things. But what it did, that 18% unemployment, and we did rebuild our community, but we always deserve more opportunity than we get. So UTEP Aerospace Center was born in 2003 as my lab, Combustion and Propulsion Research Lab, in the determination of success of students. I have a volunteer army of students that built our first test setup that flew in KC-135. I always say that so over the last decade, we took more than 1,000 students from El Paso zip course and put them in aerospace and defense industry. We must build opportunity to every America's community. If you want to have a successful lunar exploration or any other space agenda, you must bring people from hidden America's talent pool. If we fail to do that, none of our initiative will go forward. We cannot put a barrier for students to pursue education. We cannot really push ourselves only worried about those magazine ranking and try to tweak all those knobs to make sure you rank in a magazine. Rather, we have to believe in that education for common people. You have to believe in that we have to create opportunity for each child growing up in every zip code of our nation and make sure that they have a path to a successful career. Unless and until we do that, the brightest mind of US in lunar exploration is in this room. But none of the things will move forward until we bring the pipeline of talents to do things. Who's gonna build these 3 private space stations? We barely build one, and we wanna build 3 of them. Do we have people in the pipeline? We don't. Because we build a system that creates a structural barrier for minority students, women, rural students to pursue and excel in aerospace and defense career. That's the barrier Aerospace Center broke. 50% of our students working in the lab are undergraduate students. Many of them are underprepared coming to the school. We hire freshman student, and my good friend Preston Jones is there, just retired from NASA. He's handling, so we have different research centers across the country, but we're taking students from Black schools that just came out right out of high school. And that's a path for us. We have to really put together a national plan to address this issue, and we must build opportunities, and I cannot emphasize enough, in every American zip code. We want to make sure that the talents growing up, we don't lose them. We must make sure that the lunar exploration is inclusive. Make sure that it is for everyone, not for few people and few American cities. So our program converges cutting edge research. We are world-class research program, but it built on student success. Only time we tell ourselves we're successful, take a kid and put them in industry or academia. Papers, research project, we have many. That's not our success metrics. We have a singular success metrics. Make sure that America has a workforce that sustain all of our space ambition. And obviously, we want to keep them here. All 1,000 people I worked with last 10 years, they all left El Paso because we did not build prosperity. We're winner of the Build Back Better grant, Biden administration, that $81.5 billion we got. We are working on to build a supply chain network that can support that. We can talk a little bit more about it. So our center has 3 different research programs: space, aeronautics, and energy. We work in 3 different, split it in 3 different divisions. And we like you to, it takes 2 days to see all our facility, and we could not get enough time for you, but we want to show you only one. But any of you want to see other facility, want to stay Friday with us, be welcome. And you want a private tour, I will be happy to show many of our laboratories and facilities. So in lunar exploration area, we're one of the winner of the Luster grant, but apart from that, we work on ablative arc mining. We work on thermal mining approach for lunar ice mining. We also have a large program on orbit servicing assembly and manufacturing. We have few mission planned next 3 years, partnering with both DoD and NASA to demonstrate some of our technologies. Next slide. I have trouble changing the slide. We have a big program in propulsion that you'll be able to see it today. I guess that's the only facility you'll be able to see that. We have one of the very few propulsion program in the nation, but also is focusing on student development. Our students from our program are heavily in Blue Origin, and I see Rob Meyerson, the former president of Blue Origin there, who start hiring our student. B3 engine, B4 engine has a lot of our graduates. The same facility, you're gonna see this today. And of course, our sister center, WMKX Center for 3D Innovation, this world largest additive manufacturing research center. And again, that's also a facility that takes a day to say it, but hopefully you'll be able to stop by and to some of our capabilities, to see some of our capabilities. Next one. So as we start to grow, our research center now supports over 200 research assistants. We have 50 staff members, and we have almost $100 million of active grant. We do start to open up new facilities around the United States to ensure that our experience, our path to prosperity, we spread this out. One of them is Huntsville. We have a digital engineering design center in Huntsville, primarily work with the Black schools, Tuskegee, Alabama, A&M, and bring those students to Huntsville facility or El Paso facility to really use the digital transformation of aerospace and defense system. We have a facility in Youngstown, Ohio. It's a different demographics, but it's another manufacturing town that got disseminated because of NAFTA. And we are work with those rural students there. We just opened a new facility within the NASA Johnson Space Center. My Johnson Space Center friends are here. So, and that also gonna start to work on Houston area minority students. So I'm keep emphasizing that although we're a world-class research center, our soul is always our students. This is what we believe in. We believe in that you can do amazing thing without shutting your door. In UTEP, we don't look GPA, we don't look SAT score. We look what's your aspiration is. We admit people based on their aspiration. We don't put an artificial barrier to choke American talent flow. Okay, we want to make it wide open. And all our activities are designed for that. You could be a research one program, you could be a high research intensive program, while still you can keep your door open. You don't have to pick one way or another. Next slide. So that's our facility. We have many facility, main campus, including our largest scale test facility, our laboratories. We have 2 airports owned by our research center, one for uncrewed system and one for really crewed system. So we have a huge facility built. And we have an end-to-end capability, design, build, and fully test. Okay, we have some major project going on right now, including hypersonic systems, including digital engineering, lunar lander projects. We have many projects going on, and hopefully we should be able to see a bit of those things today. Next slide. So as I say, and Dean pointed out, this is one of the Blue Origin test stand, all our students on the same test stand. So you can see that with the West Texas test facility has majority of our students. We are able to take talents from every part of the zip code and able to put them through a exciting program that blend opportunities and excellence together and create success. A very simple formula. It's nothing special in it. You bring kids who are underprepared, barely prepared, a lot of challenges, and put them in a program that care about them. And that has a world-class research infrastructure. That has a deep connection to industry like Blue Origin, Lockheed Martin, or agency like NASA, and create the success. We are able to do that day in, day out. Okay, many of our students are very high up in NASA right now, managing the propulsion program from the HLS or ground systems for SLS in Florida. We did able to do that by just blending that path. Oh, why can't I use this? And the statics you have already saw, that's a very, very real capability. So as we start to become a very research program, we also start to understand that our community really export all the talent somewhere else. So last 6 years, we took a big initiative to create a aerospace and defense supply chain is here. Part of the reason is that not only try to address our supply chain issue as a nation, but also creating opportunity that people don't have to leave their community and loved one to pursue their career. So the 6th area, we have a solid supply chain going on. Just I added all those 6 slides. So if your industry want to source components from our community, please come and talk to us, or we have a city of El Paso. I want to really emphasize that a big initiative for the next decade for us to build America's supply chain here in El Paso. Next slide. So we also developed a big innovation network for manufacturer, bringing a small and medium manufacturing throughout from our community and weave them together to our research program. And these are small minority-owned suppliers, 10 people to 100 people, amazing capability. They form the backbone of American manufacturing. We brought them and integrate them in our research program to really pursue this. So we have all the small and medium businesses that can support aerospace and defense sector. We are working very, very closely with them, providing the infrastructure and talent support so that they can form really a large ecosystem of small and big supplier and keep our students here, keep the prosperity here. Next slide. So we're groundbreaking a first America's purpose-built advanced manufacturing campus, a manufacturing campus built with common cyber physical and digital infrastructure to really relocate many of our small and medium manufacturers to that location. And also creating employment, creating innovation. So City of El Paso and UTEP partner, and we received the Build Back Better Regional Challenge Grant to do that. Next slide. And you'll be going this facility this afternoon, but we are revamping this facility and we are relocating many of the national small space startups going to relocate with us. We're expanding that facility, which doesn't look like that right now, but that's the expansion is starting in January to our Fayetteville test campus. Next slide. And of course, we have a huge initiative right now, also not only focusing on higher ed, but also creating middle skill talent. We started a lot of program with NASA Murray funding to really preparing the middle skill talent workforce through a very active learning and engaged really apprenticeship program with us. And we have 3 areas, El Paso, Panorama, and Salros. We're working on bringing talents. They are making $10 per hour and put them through a program so that America's middle school talent is also stronger. Next slide. With that, I'm going to conclude my talk, but I want to emphasize one thing that how appreciative I am that you take the time. I know there is not always a direct flight to El Paso, but I always want to create a lot of direct flight to El Paso. This is one of my biggest agenda. But I want to thank you so much for taking the time. People often don't understand how beautiful this community is, how beautiful this city is, and how blessed we are with the talented young minds in this community. I hope you're able to enjoy El Paso and talk to our students, see some of our facility, and enjoy time here, okay? Thank you so much. El Paso strong.
There was one question online, which was, if I can remember it, I think it was what percentage of the students have been placed in, does somebody have it?
So Aerospace Center has 100% placement. So most students who are graduating from our program, they're already taken. Okay, so so most of our students usually receive a job offer 6 months before they graduate. And we have some really extraordinary partnership with Lockheed Martin, Blue Origin. Those are the 2 main customer of our talent, but they get everywhere. But I have also seen a new tendency to our student body to go to space startups. So, but we have 100% placement, yeah.
Thank you so much. That was really, really inspiring and exciting. And I hope that that those of you who are in academia have a chance to talk to Dr. Choudhuri. And also, of course, industry, if you get a chance in here to snatch up some of those students before they get placed somewhere else before you have a chance. So thank